Welcome. You have reached review time with Emperiol. Today's review would be The Walking Dead World Beyond, Episode 9, The Deepest Cut. Let's get into it. So, this is picking the course right back up off of the last episode. We find out that Huck is a double agent. She's the daughter that Elizabeth said that was part of CRM, and we know she is working with CRM to get the asset to New York. And we find out some more interesting things in this episode. So this was another good episode. So when the episode comes on, they're on their way to New York. Everyone's asleep. Huck is driving, and she's playing back in her head when she met with her mom. And the mom was basically telling her, we got to make sure that you get the asset alone and by any means necessary. If you don't, we will intervene. And she said, "Don't worry, I got this." So while Huck is driving, she's on a straight road and she deliberately damages the vehicle to flatten the tire. So now they're on feet. And so now when they walk into a field of zombies, in the course of all the chaos, Huck slices Philip's ankle. So now she's really on some tight time. So they find a house, and the house that they find is empty, and Felix is badly wounded, so he can't really operate. So that's a way to take Felix out of the game. Meanwhile, in another direction, it shows Elton, who is on top of like a dumpster container, and he is reflecting on life. He's got his mother's book, and he started ripping up the book. In the course of ripping up the book, once he calmed down, he started picking up the pages of the book he ripped out. And when he did, he seen blood on the ground. And when he seen blood, it was Percy. And Percy had just killed a walker. And so Percy was wounded, and Elton pulled him um, out of harm's way. Meanwhile, Percy's image conscious came out her body and started communicating with Elton and telling Elton basically he wouldn't be wrong for leaving him. He got to move on to help other people. And this is his conscious talking to him. But it's in the form of Percy. And there are walkers coming up. And the conscious of Percy is telling Elton to just leave. And when he started to at first, he had Silas's equipment, that long wrench. He had that, and he basically uh, ran and fought the four walkers, fought them off and killed them. And so he just stayed there. And when he looked on Percy, Percy had a walkie-talkie. Now it dips back to what's going on in the house. You have Huck talking to Iris, like basically like saying things like, "I knew you was gonna be the leader. You know, the things I seen you do in weeks, it took hope months to get or whatever." So it's like she's trying to create the division. And at the time, you're thinking that Iris is the asset or whatever. But that's not the truth. Meanwhile, Huck has implemented basically we can't let, we gotta leave Felix. Felix is weak, you know what I mean? So everybody knows Iris is not gonna leave. She don't want to leave people behind. she always had a struggle that they let Elton leave along with Silas. So that was creating a division with her and Hope, because Hope is like, we got to keep going. She's holding on to the thoughts of Huck. Well, Huck said we got to keep going no matter what. So it shows a flashback with Felix and his boyfriend named Bill, who were security detail for Leo, which is Hope and Iris's father, and how they split. And basically, Bill asked to be on Leo's security detail so that he'd be able to stay and protect the girls. So I don't even, it showed that flashback, but that was kind of pointless in a sense. Meanwhile, you got Iris and Hope is having a wedge division, and Iris says to Hope, "I wish I had a map that can, that can basically to understand you." It set off a light bulb in Hope's head. So what Hope in return does, she pulls out this map um, that she had from CRM, and she start doing longitude and latitude and start decoding these longitude and latitude numbers. In the course of decoding, when she finished, she got a message said, Raft embedded agent en route to New York with asset +4, all four expendable. So after all of everything that she decoded, that's what the message said. So that let her know that there is a agent with them, and they're en route to New York. One of them is the asset, and the other four expendable. And see, she decoded that, right before she decoded that, Iris came to her and basically saying we shouldn't leave Felix, and Hope was pretty much like, nah, what we gotta save Dad. And Iris said, what you know about Huck? How do you, you've been around her more. Um, I got a bad feeling about her. Can we trust her? And pretty much Hope was like, yeah, we could trust her. She's been there for me more than you would think. And pretty much you kind of like kicked me to the curb ever since I told you what really happened to Mom. And so, that showed the official wedge, but it didn't go without saying after Hope decoded that message. So in the middle of the night, Hope went to Huck like, hey, Iris is not going to leave Felix here. We need to dip down and and leave them before they wake up. So Huck was like, okay, let me get my stuff. So the next morning comes, it shows them walking, and it shows Huck pretty much saying like, I'm glad you trust me and whatever, whatever. And then she said, give me one moment. Let me step off for a second. So when she goes and steps off, she goes behind like a building. And meanwhile, Elton finds the walkie-talkie in Percy's uh, coat, and Percy's knocked out. So Elton is tapping hitting the codes on the walkie-talkie, tapping the walkie-talkie or whatever. And so when Huck dips behind a building, she pretty much said, Elton? And he's like, yeah, I found Percy and he's wounded. We need help or whatever. And she said, so now she looked like, oh man. And so she like, where are you? And right when he started, he said, I'm 10 miles. Right when he started to tell her exactly where they were, Percy woke up and snatched the walkie-talkie and said, don't say nothing else, because she is she the one who shot me. So it leaves this suspense right there. Meanwhile, Iris and Felix is waking up. Iris tells Felix that Hope and Huck left. You find out Huck's name is really Jennifer in earlier when she did the flashback with her mom. Nevertheless, Iris tells Felix, "Hey, Huck and Hope left." And he said they just left us like that. And she was like, "Yeah, I can't find none of their stuff." So when Felix was looking for his stuff, he said, "My gun is missing." So it goes back to where Huck and Hope is walking up the alley, and it shows Huck reaching in the back of her pants, and she has the gun. So that's how it basically the episode ends. So that was real good, real suspenseful, and see how that's going to play out right there. You also have it. You know how they do, like the episode goes off and then it comes back on. It shows Bill running in a forest from CRM agents or whatever. So we'll see what's going to happen with that as well. But so right now we know Huck's the double agent. We know Hope is the asset, and it shows her intelligence by they was portraying it like Iris is the lead and everything like that, but it's really Hope, and it shows how she was able to decode um, the latitude, longitude, and get that message or whatever. So they underestimated her intelligence and how she figured it out, and know that Huck is a traitor. But her thing is she, I guess her plan is to get rid of Huck on her own or whatever. So you got to think Huck has been the one. Like they also during the episode, Huck told Iris that when um, Hope was snuck on that bus, she was planning on leaving, and Iris said to Hope, um, "Was you going to tell me?" And then Hope pretty much said no. So it's basically showing like a wedge between them, but Hope is really like protecting Iris. So this whole time we've been thinking like Iris is the lead and she's the mother bear, and what she is, but really Hope is the lead and she's the asset, and it shows her intelligence. And if you really think about it, Hope was the one that was in all the military like combat stuff and all that. So it's good twist and change of events. This was the best episode I believe in of the season, and these episodes have been getting better, and this is obviously the best episode of the season in my opinion. So nevertheless, subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave a comment on what you think of how everything is transpiring so far. Till next time.